Hi, today we'll be going through the different ways to take photos using the shooting displays and a general run through of all the icons that are on the screen. There are two ways you can compose pictures with modern day cameras. The conventional way by looking through the viewfinder or by using the live view on the back screen. The viewfinder in mirrorless cameras is called the EVF, the electronic viewfinder. This is because it's really just a miniature LCD screen that you're actually looking at. The live view monitor on the back is just a bigger version of that LCD screen. That's the reason why these cameras are actually called mirrorless cameras, because in the digital SLR cameras, which is single lens reflex, is what you're actually looking at is a mirror inside the camera that's reflecting what you're taking a photo of. So for example, in a digital SLR camera, there's actually a mirror that sits there. If you notice, there's a mirror there. You can see my eyes. So that is the mirror, and when it takes the photo, it flips open, takes the photo, and then brings it back down again. So these are called SLR, single lens reflex cameras. And with mirrorless cameras, as you can see, there's only a sensor on the back and there's no mirror. So when you take a photo, it just has a shut-in curtain there, no mirror. So what you're seeing through the viewfinder is what this is recording. So that's why they call it an electronic viewfinder. So I prefer the actual viewfinder myself. Firstly, because it makes you look like a photographer, but mainly you get a better perspective and a clearer picture when trying to compose, and it's way better when you want to see if you're in focus as well. The live screen view as well, when you're in sunlight, the glare, you can't even see what you're doing. There are times when the live view is useful. For example, when you want to shoot high above, you flip out the screen like that and you can shoot like that. You know, obviously you can't get your eye to the viewfinder anyway, so that's awesome. But mainly when you want to shoot low, which happens a lot, and obviously you can't bend down, so you can look at the viewfinder that way. If you always use the EVF and want the live view to only show the control panel, then just press that button on the side here and that will do it for you. That's also a great way to save on battery power as well. Note also on the side you have a diopter switch. You can turn that, and what that does is it adjusts your eyes focus to the LCD screen inside the viewfinder. So if you wear glasses, or it'll adjust the focus of your eye, not the actual focus of what you're taking a photo of. If you never use the EVF and you always want to use the back screen, you can do so by going to the built-in EVF menu, and in here you can turn off the EVF auto switch. So you turn that off. So when you bring your eye up to the EVF, it doesn't come on. The back screen will always stay on. Both the live view and the EVF will display information on their respective screens. You can change what's on the live view screen by using the info button. That cycles through what you see on the screen. For instance, this bit here shows you everything, including the histogram. If you click the info, then it'll show you the level gauge, so you can left and right, up and down. That gives you that option there. Cycle again. It'll show you nothing on the screen if you want to compose. Okay, so set up your shot either in landscape or in portrait mode. Position the subject in the middle of the frame. You should see a small outline of a box. That's where the camera will focus. Press the shutter button halfway, and you'll see at the top right hand corner a little green circle. If that's solid, then focus has been attained. If it's blinking, then you're going to have to try and get focus again, because that means it hasn't captured the focus yet. Once it's a solid green, that means you're in focus. You'll also notice that small rectangular box will blink green, and that's where you'll see that you're in focus. Once that's all done, just press the rest of the shutter the rest of the way, and bingo, that's your first photo taken. And then if you want, you can just press the play button here and you can review your photos. Alternatively, you can take photos by tapping on the live screen. To control this, there are 3 different settings that you can actually set it into. And you can control that by this icon here. The one that it's currently on, if you tap a subject to focus on it, and it will also take a photo. So for instance, I want to focus on Jerry's nose. So it'll focus on where you tapped it, and it'll take the photo as well. Press this, then it turns to that symbol, and what that means is the entire screen is disabled, so you can't do anything. And then there's one more setting, so press that again, and that little symbol there, all that does is it'll focus where you touch it, but it just won't take the shot. If you want to take the shot, then you've got to use the shutter button. For instance, I'll focus on Jerry's eye there. It didn't take the shot, but it's focused on her eye. Then I'll just take the shot normally using the shutter release button. If I want to focus somewhere else, then I just focus. So with the touch to focus only option, when you do touch somewhere to focus, for instance there, on the side here, you'll get a lever to zoom in and make the actual focus area bigger. And then there's a little magnifying glass here to zoom in, and that zooms in, and what that does is you can see that it's actually really in focus. It just helps you to see that if you've attained focus. And then just tap out again, and then so it only does once. I think you can zoom it, you can move it around as well to see that you're really in focus. And then once you've done that, then okay. And one last thing, the touch screen will not work when you're using panorama, e-portrait mode, multiple exposures, or when you're in bulb or live composition mode. Okay, so that's it for today. Next episode, I'm going to get stuck into the iAuto mode and all the features that goes with that, which is like a point and shoot, like I said. So if you haven't already subscribed, subscribe to the channel and follow me. No worries.